friendly. Quite a cool face to see. Even took a game off of our own Pharaoh, which is quite a feat. Um, we have, speaking of a feat, we had Synnister kind of running through the losers bracket. As I saw, he took out Delta Force. He went through Duquesne as well. Which side is this? This. He took out Duquesne. This is for fourth. It's gonna be playing Synnister Smash Bros.
Yeah, it really is one of the most special opportunities to be able to play in Tri-State, just because you can honestly say that you either won or lost, or got to play against Smash Bros. Itself. Really a fundamental part of the gaming experience. But here we go.
Now we have everyone's favorite part of gaming, projectiles and combos. Smash Bros. Using his zoning to sneak right in with DJC cancels. Very good 40+% lead.
Yeah, a whole lot of big damage. And again, tis the nature of attempting to play Ken into a character like this. Once you get in, that's when the damage starts going. And of course, you got to be very careful because you're getting pretty damn close to kill percent. Like, this is death if you get one more up air. But again, that damage output from both these characters is insane if it's left unchecked.
Yeah, that's the thing. Like, most of the time, if you're playing Ryu, you want to be trying to use Ryu, because as I've seen anything from Sergeant Hamilton, that character is cracked. Lucas as a character can really reliably and consistently shut down Shakinetsu. So it's kind of up to Synnister to make these huge call-out plays.
And huge call-outs he is making. It's been just over a minute already. 2 stocks disintegrated off of Smash Bros. And it does not look like Synnister showing any signs of slowing down. These landing airs putting in the mileage. And Synnister still sitting cozy. Again, that's one of the unique differences between these two characters, is that with Synnister, every single touch is basically a touch of death. And with Smash Bros, unless you have a really crazy advantage state going, or a really good ledge guard situation, you are not necessarily a threat of just like a stray hit leading into a kill. I mean, that's not entirely true if you can find the right conversions, but it's a lot easier said than done.
Yeah, a lot of the times, like the lowest interaction count is going to be 2. It's always going to be that interaction 1 losing the DJC, interaction 2 the edge guard. But speaking of single interactions, taking it near 2 and 3 on shield leads to jab up B. That's quite not something you want to be taking as a lighter midweight.
Yeah, I mean, that heavy jab already has to hurt enough, and then, like, all of a sudden your opponent just bursts into flame and is also propelling at high velocity upwards. Like, that's gotta sting. Especially for this poor little PSI-powered kid.
Yeah,
alas.
Too good of a SpaceX rocket impersonation.
Yeah,
leaving the atmosphere at unprecedented speeds.
Yeah, we're going to be rocking it out, though. Small Battlefield is the stage of choice. Once again, no big counter picks, at least not yet in the set. Again, we do start off with Smash Bros. Getting a respectable little bit of damage on the board. Though immediately, the F tilt dare, I mean, we're seeing just how serious Synnister's playing, and he's not looking to let his run stop. Not even the power of the game itself, of Smash Bros. In and of itself, is going to be enough to put a damper on this incredible losers run that Synnister's been putting together.
He makes 5 great calls at the ledge, but he didn't know that, just like the Spanish Inquisition, no one expects the sticks interaction that you have to make, and he slips up and finally lets Synnister off the corner.
I love
could be disastrous with how the percents are being played out.
Oh, there it is, though. The down smash, the tried and true. That move has got to be, like, a hard call out for that Shoryu. Like, no matter how good you are at spacing it, that down smash is huge. And you don't have a ton of recovery flexibility when you're playing as Ryu. Or Ken, excuse me. They look very similar, minus the fact that they look entirely different.
Yeah. And it does have a little bit scarier of a ledge poke. The multi-hit can... It's much easier to get a harder hit of a ledge poke. Both characters really want to be recovering high. They have focus attack, they have flipping side B. They have a lot more mix-ups high than they have mix-ups low.
Ooh, there we go, though. The back throw putting Synnister back in disadvantage, and the catch is coming out now. That's going to be a second stock. Now we're seeing a little bit of that momentum shifting back into SmashBros' favor, as already putting on big damage and not looking to slow down. Hasn't even crossed into the triple digits, unless you want to talk about that little decimal percent by his name. But still, finally peeking into the triple digits, only for a moment, as Synnister very quick to escort SmashBros out of that first stock.
That jab up B, built-in combos coming in clutch. Taking the percent before you can really run away with this. But speaking of guys taking target combos and inventing off them, going for way different routes, a dash attack instead of the the standard F to ender you normally see.
Ooh, and the dash attack gonna be enough to do it. Looking like they might be running it back, though it seems like Synnister may be taking a second to think about his stage pick here. He does have counter pick advantage, having taken a very convincing game number 1, has the opportunity to do some pretty fancy stuff here. But again, it just feels like it's the ledge that's going to be the biggest struggle, and that's going to be the biggest deciding factor here when it comes to Synnister's counter pick.
I wonder what he's gonna really take it to, because like, as you know, as I've said earlier, is the lack of low mix-ups means he can't, he doesn't have quite the amount of stage choice in terms of trying to mess around with how SmashBros edge guard them. But ends up you were right, bringing it back to the tried and true small battlefield. Very good stage for both players. Biplats are crazy strong in this meta.
Yeah, the reality of it is even with counter pick advantage, there's only so much counter picking you can do in a matchup like this. You don't want to give Lucas too much room, and you don't want to give him too much benefits off those side blast zones especially. So you don't want to take it somewhere smaller. You don't really want to take it somewhere bigger. You just kind of want to keep it on the neutral side of things, and then let your neutral speak for itself, because that's really where Ken starts to shine.
Even then, like in terms of bans as well, as you might even get a stage like Town, but you even pointed it excellently out yourself. That huge amount of space that Town has, it's kind of hard to play around it. Synnister keeping it close, keeping it to the chest. Great job with these small little mini restats around this platform.
Yeah, again, the big thing for Synnister is just having control over space. That's really what this matchup ends up boiling down to, is how well both these players can control the stage, control the area. And with suite of projectiles that SmashBros has access to, giving him more space to run away would not be the play, or at least not be one that would end up well. Great patience there from Synnister, not going to be overcommitting on looking for that Shoryu, at least not yet. Just putting on that shield pressure and seeing how we can continue to push the existing advantage.
And fair, and again, he's like stopped in a slow fall because he's been getting punished for immediately picking a recovery option. But at the same time, the second you start slow falling, SmashBros catches on and just kind of smacks you in the face with some lava chicken, burning you next stock.
But it's a diamond in the rough. It's a story still being told. SmashBros not too far behind, still finding a way at this original stock. Not quite able to close it out, but the damage is surmounting, and SmashBros having the opportunity to slow things down here is taking that window to do so. Some funky movement coming out off that trade with the PSI mech. Definitely some shenanigans, but now Synnister pushing this lead further and further still. Now one good hit away from taking things out, especially with just about max rage on deck. Great recovery option. Not going to get punished for the re-grab either. I mean, it really is SmashBros with a whole lot of pressure on it.
Let's see if we can make those toes twinkle. No shiny feet yet. really looking for like a forward air. You know, we saw a little bit of up air cross up, but he like that's going to be his big killer options. That max-based forward air, just wailing him on shield. SmashBros, he's trying to keep a smiling face, but he's really noticing the fact that this lead is slipped away from him, and he just could not quite even it up fast enough. Synnister gave him no chance to breathe. Look that up B, stuffing him out right off the spawn invincibility.
Yeah, people who don't play a ton of Street Fighter don't realize it, but you can honestly use Shoryuken as an anti-air in Smash Bros. Almost as well as you can in Street Fighter. It is a potent kill option that also is surprisingly hard to punish. And if you have a pretty hard read that your opponent's going to try to jump over you, it is a shockingly effective option out of shield.
It's Ken actually makes better use of it than Ryu, simply because the way his up B works is that the strong hit is the last hit instead of the first hit. And that's another thing where it's like, if you hit like anything up until the end, as long as your up B connects, you're most likely taking that stock on that jump in. Whereas like with Ryu, you kind of have to use it more like an out of shield option. It's not really that fast in terms of out of shield.
Yeah, it's definitely one of the many perks that Ken does have when it comes in comparison to Ryu. With that being said, though, regardless of what Shoto you end up fighting, it doesn't really change the struggle that exists at the ledge. Dealing with that down smash, dealing with that PK Thunder, it's so much to try to maneuver your way around, and there's only so many times you can scoot around it before eventually a player like SmashBros is going to be able to thread the needle and just completely stuff out that stock.
Great parries coming out. Trying to keep him on these platforms, but that's the thing, it's like Synnister can, outside of up air, he can kind of sit on the platform because he just doesn't have the best way to poke at it. Like, you can max range, but he can't quite make you scared. There's no Cloud Bear, no Cloud Up Air, no Aegis, everything. It's like you can kind of sit up there and just kind of take a couple hits, but taking hits right now, and these hits might be deadly.
Yeah, the PK Thunder forcing the high recovery and the dash attack once again doing it 2 stocks to 1. Completely even in percentage though. So hey, I mean, that's a step in the right direction. You're evened out something. Now again,
this game 4 right now is looking to be quite in SmashBros' favor. It's the upper double upper punish. Wow, and Synnister scared in his shield, clutching his safety blanket.
Yeah, I mean, you gotta put in a lot of respect. The side B not quite lethal yet, but that down smash gonna end up getting poked, not quite timed correctly. SmashBros unfortunately not able to get his JV3 together, but the up smash gonna be enough to do it. Correct me if I'm wrong, but is that game 5 that we're going to?
Yeah, we're going to game 5. The final showdown between these two illustrious players that have seen each other all throughout bracket, from round 1s to round 6s, 7s, up and down. They've played each other.
Yeah, it was originally SmashBros who knocked Synnister down to losers in pools, taking that upset in Game 5 fashion. Now, once again, beating here in losers semis. We are at another Game 5. We'll see if SmashBros is able to repeat that upset for pools, or if it's going to be Synnister pushing his way onward towards losers finals, towards a chance at Justin Byleth, and towards a chance at potentially getting to fight Jackal to push himself along in fact. We'll see. Already off to a strong start from Synnister. Big damage coming together. Start things off. Small battlefield being quite nice to the Shoto main. And the shield break already. What an explosive first stock.
Dealing Halliburton's Thunder, his Achilles heels get popped and broken during that shield break. Quite an explosive play.
Absolutely, and still sub 50% on that first stock. You are in a comfortable spot. Never mind, no you're not. SmashBros immediately shutting me up, getting that kill, and turning this back into an even game. You really can't stop talk and relax for just even a second in this matchup without something of crazy degrees of dynamics happening.
Yeah, like Tom and Jerry gameplay coming out. They back and forth, dying in the craziest of ways, putting your hamster to shame.
Indeed. Already, though, big damage, and now we're seeing SmashBros starting to claw his way back in, getting big damage of his own. Just going for the up smash, the really underrated smash attack that it is. Great shield drop there. That would have been a shield break if SmashBros had not been able to get out of that situation. And the side B now putting Synnister in an awkward position, getting knocked under the stage, but he kept his double jump, is going to be staying alive. Potentially, the little bit of extra survivability that he needs that may make the difference between who wins and loses this game.
Yeah, and no punish on the air dodge Forma de Americano. Just sneaks on by. No reason have it getting punished. Both vying for this center stage. SmashBros has slightly longer range, and he's really abusing it. Keeping, playing a little bit king of the hill. Oh, but overextends, and that's going to take it down tilt. Yeah, SmashBros making the exact same face I'm making right now. Like, no!
Yeah, it's a mistake that you can't afford to make. And we're seeing him reeling with every hit now. And again, when you're in a game 5 with your back against the wall, every tiny mistake is amplified just that much more. It feels 20 times worse. Big damage in the short Yuken. It's going to be enough to do it. That is Synnister capitalizing tremendously off of that one overcommitment and being able to push it back, getting his run back on SmashBros, and now pushing himself to a guaranteed third, getting his opportunity to go up against the one and only Justin Byleth.
And just like Mega Blocks, these combos be connecting in the most interesting of ways. He clipped him off the smallest thing, like he touched his hair, and that was enough to kind of get SmashBros, into a full combo. Quite early too. He was like 60-something.
Yeah, I mean, that is just the nature of Ken as a character. He like barely grazes you, and all of a sudden you're eating like 60, 70, 80%. You might be dying off of it. It's Ken is one hell of a drug. Like, for lack of a better way of putting it, in spite of everything that SmashBros was able to put together, it was Synnister able to just capitalize off the moment, found an important punish, and was able to turn it into what ultimately became the set. Synnister still has his work put ahead of him, has a very strong hurdle in the form of Justin Byleth that he's going to have to topple if he wants to make his way from pools to grands. It's a bit of an adventure, a bit of an odyssey that you've been on, but it is one that you are still en route on. The story has not come to an end yet, even with obstacle as substantial as Justin and the Byleth, Steve, and all of that standing in your way.
Yeah, I wonder if we'll see quite the bonanza of a losers finals coming out. Yeah. Whether we'll see some tricks coming out from Steve or some more solid, fundamentally sound Byleth gameplay, but yeah, that up tilt was such a good snag off the air dodge away. Just kind of took a page out of Scorpion's book, stealing from the World Warrior himself, Ken, stealing from other fighting games. Get over here with that down tilt up tilt conversion.